Certainly. Mrs. Sloan. All right.
Here. So today we have a performance. We already had for today's meeting the Reverend Jazz Lab under the direction of Mr. Cherry, and we decided to add some special guests since it's Dr. Mooney's and Mrs. Sloan's last board meeting. So we have 3 students actually from Sousa. 1, 2. We have some older students. We have Mr. Helfner, the high school. Mr. Lockley, who is the band director manager. Mr. Myers Sorcerer, who is the band director of Weber and Guggenheim. Mr. Pinelli, who is the orchestra teacher at the high school.
Thank you so much. Can we have another round of applause? That was awesome. And Joy, are you still here? I can't say. Thank you. Thank you. I will now make a motion for an adoption of the agenda, June 11, 2019. Do I have a second? Mrs. Johnson, all in favor? 7-0. Thank you. We will now have an opportunity for student and community comments. We do ask you to identify yourself for the record, and we do have a strict, very strict 3-minute limit. Thank you. Even for you, Julie.
And this is Julie Epstein, and we're President's Parents Council. Before we offer a few congratulatory words to our outgoing presidents, we'd like to take a moment to recognize both Dr. Mooney and Sloan. Dr. Mooney, I personally have had the privilege of working with you over the past close to 14 years, and it's an absolute pleasure. You exhibit a true dedication and commitment to public education, and in particular the students of Port Washington. As Presidents of Parents Council, you've always supported our goals. Not only have you been at our meetings, our presentations, our HSA and PTA events, but you've been a true advocate for our vision. When Julie and I would bring an idea to you to promote progress and change within the structure of our parent organizations, we've always approached it with thoughtful consideration and support. One of the things I've honestly enjoyed most are our private monthly meetings that Julie and I have had with you over the course of the year. Things usually get off topic, which has allowed us to get to know you on a more personal side, which not everyone gets to see, and that I thoroughly enjoy. Karen, your dedication to this school district goes above and beyond. You have given so much of yourself and your time that some may forget that this is not a paid position for you. It's a position and a service that you have taken on by choice, and you've done it with a passion and a fervor that is beyond admirable. Thank you for making that difference.
I'm a diddle for all those, and now I'm on the outgoing president side. So for all you outgoing presidents, yay, you made it! The marathon is over. Congratulations! Give yourselves a hand. Thank you for all that you have done, all of your time, for taking a leap of faith in both Meredith and myself and trying to build something just a little stronger, a little more connected, and a little more fun this year. We've been a team this year. We've enjoyed not only working with each of you, but getting to know you as people, as individuals who came to these roles for different reasons, but at the end wanted to accomplish the same goals. We admire your passion for an organization and commend your creative thinking when faced with those unexpected requests. We all know what they are, right? You are a force to be reckoned with and yet a guiding hand as well. So to quote our former president, Bill Clinton, I would just like to say that volunteering is an act of heroism on a grand scale, and it matters profoundly. It does more than help people beat the odds, it changes the odds. We cannot thank you enough for helping us change the odds, and we look forward to your continued support, and most importantly, your friendship. Thank you all. I have one more person to thank. It's Meredith Steinman. She's the end of an institution also. I don't know if you all caught it, but she said 14 years. She's been doing this for 14 years. She's been a co-president of an elementary school, a middle school, and high school parents council. She's done book fairs. She's done it all. So we can't let it go unrecognized or unnoticed, because when I came in my fired up whippersnapper way, asking all my questions of change, she could have said, no, I want to coast. It's my final year. But she didn't. Like Vanilla Ice, she said, stop, collaborate, and listen. And we took it forward with great new initiatives. So we're so excited and thrilled. I cannot express the joy that I've had working with you. So go with me on this analogy, right? You ready for this one? Oh, wait, I have to read it because otherwise I'm getting off topic, right? All right. Meredith, I feel I am your Robin to Batman. Not Thelma and Louise, Robin to Batman. And while we weren't fighting Gotham City's villains, we did Washington's residents. And I'm so happy I got to work under your tutelage. And I just love you to death, and I appreciate all of our friendship and everything. So thank you, and that's it.
Good evening to the members of the board and to the community. My name is Ryan Siegel, and I am here this evening to say thank you to President Karen Sloan for her hard work, dedication, and devotion to the Port Washington School District. 12 years is a long time, so long that it's just 1 year shy of all of my school years in Port Washington. As president, Karen has worked tirelessly to pass budget after budget, as well as the bond that so many students are now benefiting from. She has co-chaired numerous committees, including the Safety and Substance Abuse Task Force Committee, and has been instrumental in the success of annual activities such as Unity Day throughout the district. On a personal note, I have been so lucky to have Karen as a close family friend and personal cheerleader. Karen, thank you for all that you have and will continue to do for the Port Washington school community. You may be leaving the board, but I know that you won't be far and that you will continue to do all that you can for the students of Port Washington. Thank you.
Hi, Regina McLean from Washington Teachers Association. I just wanted to say it was really a delight to watch the collaborative performance there between the teachers and the students. That was a real treat, so thank you all. It was really great to listen to. And thank you, Joy, for treating us to that wonderful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. The Teachers Association wants to thank Karen Sloan for her 12 years of service to this community. You and Dr. Mooney both came in and helped bring a calm to the district when we really needed it. And I have a message to the board who will be continuing on and to the new board members who are coming on that we hope that you can continue to run these meetings so that they end before they leave. Thank you.
I, Sherry Suzanne, and Chris Shields, AXA co-president, and here tonight speaking on behalf of our colleagues at AXA. So bad enough that you usually have to follow Julie Epstein, but now we have to follow Ryan Siegel, captain of the winning tennis team. Way to go. Most of the people in this audience have been the lucky recipients of one of the numerous inspirational letters Dr. Mooney has sent to us over the last years. She often begins with an inspirational quote. The following quote has been secured to my bulletin board. I saved it after finding out the news that Dr. Mooney would be retiring at the end of this year, knowing that I would get my 3 minutes at her final meeting to speak on behalf of my AXA colleagues. So here it goes. Leadership is not about being the best. Leadership is about making everyone else better. This says it all. Kathy, you have always been a call or a text away at any time of the day or night. No matter the issue, big or small, you have provided us with guidance and support, allowing us to take the lead as needed because you believed in our professionalism and commitment to the students in the Port Washington schools. We will miss your letters of brilliance and inspiration, the depth of your understanding of children, and your wicked sense of humor when needed. The administrators are truly the lucky ones who got to spend the most time with you. You have left an imprint on each of our hearts, and we are all better leaders because you taught us how to lead. We will miss you so very, very much, but know you will always be just a call or text away.
While Dr. Suzanne has sung the praises of our exiting and esteemed superintendent, I wanted to thank our school board president, Karen Sloan, for her 12 years of volunteerism and leadership on the Board of Education. Karen's leadership has been a steady and trusted presence in the community at large. She has made sure that all constituents feel heard and valued. Thank you for your skill in building consensus and helping people to see issues from all sides. And finally, I would say thank you for being everywhere. Your support and presence as we collectively lead this district will be missed. You've been a true champion for all students in this district. Thank you.
Hello, Joel Ronas, on behalf of the Hearts Organization. I also hate speaking after Billy Epstein. On behalf of the Hearts of Port Washington, whose mission it is to enhance arts education and programming in Port schools, I wanted to thank Dr. Mooney and Karen Sloan for their years of dedicated service to the Port Washington community and their partnership in support of the Hearts mission. We wish you the best as you move on and would like to present you with a small token of our extreme gratitude. It is the public and private partnerships and the willingness of the citizens to step up that makes this community very special. Thank you both very much.
Good evening, I'm Bonnie Cohen, principal of Manor Haven School. So I'd like to thank Sherry and Chris for speaking so eloquently on behalf of the ASA. So I will just say congratulations and thank you for your years of service to Port Washington. I'm up here for another reason. On June 4th, Pat Loveland passed away with her family by her side. Mrs. Loveland worked at Manor Haven School as a clerical for 40 years. The past 11 years as my secretary. I looked forward to making a speech at her retirement party, which was still in the planning stages when she passed. She will be remembered fondly, especially for her lollipop draw. I will miss her greatly, as will her Manor Haven family and friends throughout the district.
Hi, I'm Paula Whitman, and this is Sue Hershkowitz. We're here tonight formally on behalf of the Ed Foundation. I'm not someone who's usually at a loss for words, but I'm struggling tonight. I'm just going to join in the wave of congratulations, and on behalf of the Ed Foundation, thank Dr. Mooney and Mrs. Sloan for their collective decade of support of education in Port Washington, and specifically of the mission of the Ed Foundation to enhance and inspire education in this town, which you two women do every day. I know that it's an ending of one chapter for the beginning of another. Dr. Mooney, we wish you all of the best in whatever comes next for you. And Mrs. Sloan, we welcome you back into the fold of the Ed Foundation with open arms. Personally, on a personal note, I thank you both for your friendship. And Karen, your endless ideas. Literally this morning, I got a call that starts with, I have an idea. So it's not the end, it's the beginning of a new chapter. And we thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Karen's husband in town, and I'm good with that, by the way. So this is a very tough act, lots of tough acts to follow there. But first I want to say thank you to Dr. Mooney for all of your time and effort and service in this community, many years, and your partnership with our very special. I do expect to stay within 3 minutes, Madam President. As long as everybody holds their applause and their tears, we'll stay with it. I stand here today representing our daughters and families. last 20 years, we have watched from the sidelines as you poured your passion, your selflessness, and your tireless effort into our Port Washington schools. And over the last 12 years, as a board member, and 10 years as its president, you have quietly grown into an inspirational leader we can all learn from. You have brought together a community, an administration, and a union through a spirit of inclusion, collaboration, and cooperation in an age of divisiveness. And you did it with grace, determination, and always with a cheery smile. I hear it every day how sorely you will be missed by many in this district. But what has been accomplished during your tenure surely will not be lost. We thank you, Madam President, for all you have contributed with great admiration and love from your husband and children.
As my colleague Mrs. Bates just asked, where's the gift? If we're done now and can move on, we have some certificates to pass out this evening. Mr. Kirpin, I'm so confused. You were there. Please.
Thank you, and I'll reserve my comments for our outgoing president and outgoing superintendent for our discussion later. But first, you know, I'm supposed to be impartial when it comes to activities in sports, but as a longtime tennis player, I think you know where my heart is. So I am delighted to recognize some young men today. As you all know, the boys varsity tennis team and its coach Shane Helfner made history as the first boys tennis team to win the Long Island Championships. Give it up! They won the county title over Syosset and the Long Island title over Half Hollow Hills. On behalf of the entire Port Washington community, we are so proud of all of you with the way that you represented our school. And so please join me in applauding the following people and come on up for your certificate when we recognize you. Give it up for Coach Shane Helfner. Gabriele Brancatelli. Chris Candrin. Charles Dash. Daniel Greilsheimer. Zachary Gruber. Daniel Hart. Alexander Carmen. Mitchell Klee. Ryan Klein. Rajan Parekh. Alan Pevsner. Joshua Rosen. Samuel Schaub. He's articulate and he plays tennis. Ryan Siegel! And Luke Zahari! One more time for the champion Port Washington tennis team! And finally, speaking of sports and physical education, we have a very, very exciting announcement to make and some recognition here. Manor Haven physical education teacher Megara Regan was named Elementary School Physical Education Teacher of the Year by the New York State Alliance of Health, Phys Ed, Recreation, and Dance for her fitness initiatives in Manor Haven. Please join me in honoring Miss Megara Regan! She produced a video which was awarded a $2,000 grant that will go toward the Manor Haven Physical Education Program. And I believe at this time we are going to take a look at that winning video.
Okay. Now it's my last one, opening statement. After 12 years of sitting up here, I have a few things to say before I go. Hold it. First of all, I have to take this opportunity to thank my family for all of their support and understanding while I've served on the board. It may not have always seemed like I saw the time and attention this role took and that it took away from our family, but of course I always did. The respect you showed for my passion to do my best at this job was the greatest gift to me. To my colleagues on the board, past and present, I thank you for sharing this experience with me. I have been fortunate to serve with so many incredible and talented people who volunteered to serve this community. Each of you had something different and important to offer, and my life is richer for having gotten to know you. I think you will miss my 2 cents, so let me leave you with this. If a moment arrives that becomes difficult and you forget what brought you here, remember the first day of school every September. Think of those little children that enter the world of education. Then think of the high school graduations we attend and the big children, young adults, that parade past us. Think of what has gone on in our schools for those children in all of those many years in many schools and how prepared they are to go out into the world on their own. Remember that it couldn't happen without you and people like you and the difference you make in all of their lives. That should help. Then pray that none of those kids put Vaseline on their hands to shake during the ceremony. To Dr. Mooney, Kathy, there are no words to express the respect I have for you as a person and an educator. Thank you for letting me be your wingman. We have flown to many interesting places. It has been an incredible journey. To the central office team, all of you, thank you for what you do. We have been a team for many years, and it has seen us through some interesting times. You lead by example, and as far as I'm concerned, it is the best kind of leadership and hardest to find. Thank you for steering the ship and letting me be your cheerleader. To everyone that works in our schools, and I do mean every single one of you, I have watched you all so often over these many years. It has never ceased to amaze me that every single person that works in these schools plays a role in our success at educating our children, and every one of you takes that very much to heart. It has been my greatest honor to be a part of it all. Thank you to all of you for what you do and for letting me get a peek at how you make the magic happen. And finally, to our children, parents, and entire community, so many of you have stopped me over the past few weeks as I have been nearing the end of my term to thank me for my service. But the truth is, I have received far more than I have given. So thank you, Port Washington, for your continued support of our school district and allowing me to serve on your Board of Education for the past 12 years. It has been an honor and a privilege. I know. Don't do that.
This is for Karen on behalf of the board.
Thank you.
And is this on? Yep. We also have a special plaque for her that we're going to give to her in a moment. But first, I want to say a couple of words because Karen is so special and because so many people know her and know what she's like. A lot of this has been said before, but I wasn't thinking that when I was writing it, so there might be a little repetition, but she deserves it. Oh my God, this is so bittersweet. Karen has been on the board for 12 years, and she's been the president for 10. She's been our heart and soul, and I've been lucky for the last 7 years to be on the board with her and work with her and have her as my mentor. And then again, for the last 5 years, we've been able to serve together. I should say I've been able to serve with her as an officer, as her vice president. Saying she'll be missed is an understatement. She's been a constant and a profound force of positive growth over her 4 terms on the board and has helped guide the district through times of relative calm as well as the tougher, more challenging moments. And she makes it look all so ridiculously easy. Yup, as she would say, Karen is awesome. She wouldn't say that. She's brilliant. She's actually one of the smartest people I know. She's creatively resourceful. I can't tell you how many times we've been caught between 2 competing ideas or interests, and she'll come up with a compromise that captures the best of both. She's open-minded. That compromise doesn't even have to originate with her as long as it works. She's generous. Karen gives her time and energy to the work of the board and district and to so many other organizations and nonprofits. The only common thread is that they're all really good causes and important, and she's always an unpaid volunteer. She's also incredibly hardworking, and except for 2 recent, very special family events for her, I can't think of a time that she's been unavailable for more than maybe 3 hours. And that's including at night, late at night. Karen is also incredibly compassionate and kind. I love when she wears her Be Kind t-shirt. She never fails to live by that personal motto. Her strength as a leader comes from this unique and wonderful combination of professional and personal skills. She's a great facilitator, great consensus builder, and a wonderful listener. Although she has her own strong and informed opinions, as president of the board, she encourages every board member to share their ideas and she listens to and considers the opinions of fellow board members as she encourages us to do. And she does that most often before she even shares her own ideas. Reasonable people can differ, and board members are rarely reticent or shy, but each of us has our own personal style too. Karen does not rest until every board member is heard and feels heard. And while in the end we're still 7 strong-minded individuals, in nearly every situation I can think of, Karen has been able to bring us together to make the important and sometimes very difficult decisions that positively impact the students and other stakeholders in this district. And as board president, Karen has been a tireless advocate for every one of these stakeholders, including the students and their families, teachers and staff, administrators, board members, and for community members who don't fall into those categories. Whether she's leading a general meeting, co-chairing the Safety and Substance Subcommittee, which is one of her special passions, meeting with parent groups, working with individual board members, or attending an athletic event, another one of her passions, Karen is also always a cheerleader for the kids and for our community. And I know she's going to talk about Kathy and their work together, so I'll just say that it's been an amazing experience for me to be in the room with them, with both Karen and the superintendent, and to just be a part of the experience and participate in the process of leading the district. And one more thing, despite her unique combination of professional and personal assets, Karen is extremely modest. On the many occasions where I've tried to tell her she's handled a challenging issue very effectively, made a great speech at an event, or simply done an amazing job at any one of the 50 or so things she does for us each week, well, what she does for the community, she dismisses the compliment. In Karen's words, she's not special. She's just, quote, been doing this a very long time. Karen, you are inspiring and incredible. And believe me, we've been the beneficiaries of her years of service, but it's not just the experience that you bring. Some of you already know this, but it's worth sharing for all. Karen was going to retire 3 years ago after her 3rd term, but the stars aligned and we had her leadership for another term. So now she's leaving the board, and I suppose we can't complain because we did get another 3 years. So let's just be happy for Karen and her family. Thank you, Todd, for sharing your wife, and thank you, Karen, for everything you've shared with all of us. here. Now, we have a plaque for Karen, which is wrapped, and I'm going to hand it to her. I could read what it says so that she doesn't have to go through the trouble of opening it right now. And it's from the Port Washington Union Free School District, presented to Karen Sloan in recognition of your 12 years of service, both as the trustee and president of the Port Washington Board of Education. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, and I just want everyone to know I really have been trying to work with Nora on brevity, but it has not been successful thus far.
So if everyone could indulge me for a moment, and I will be brief, since so much has been said. Karen and I do have a very special relationship, and I am just so deeply grateful for all the work that we've been able to do together. You put a few strong-minded women together, and we accomplish more than you could ever possibly imagine. So I too want to acknowledge and thank your family for sharing you with us. It's something that I say to the retirees at their retirement parties. I do like to acknowledge the families, because behind each one of us is a support system, and our families are the strongest support systems that we have, and they do give us the strength to do what we need to do and to follow our dreams and accomplish our passions. So thank you very much. So yes. So really also just on behalf of the central office, we have a little something for you. And it wouldn't be right, as you know, at the tenure award ceremony and the retirees, I always give a book. So I do have a personal book for you. I couldn't let you escape without that. So with that, I just thank you so much. So thank you, Karen.
Okay, I think we've had enough of that. And now we'll move to the report from the superintendent.
All right, so I'm going to do a little business first. I want to thank our student performers, and I want to thank Joy for her beautiful rendition of the national anthem this evening. That was really very special for both Karen and myself. I also I think this is our first meeting since the budget vote, and I want to thank the community for their overwhelming support of the budget. It really does allow us to do the work that we want to do for our students. So we are all very appreciative of that. This is a very busy time of the year. Many different activities going on. We have concerts and art exhibits. We have all kinds of sports, award ceremonies, honor society inductions, our upcoming moving up ceremonies and graduations. Tomorrow night is the community awards ceremony here at Shriver High School, and that is another place where our community shows their tremendous support of our students, our graduating seniors. So it's really a wonderful event. I am also very excited because with the departure of some, we are also bringing in some new individuals to our district. So tonight we have some new teacher hires, but we also have 2 new administrator hires, and so they don't get lost in the approval of the agenda. Meg Sheehan will be our new assistant principal at the elementary schools, divided between Sousa and Guggenheim. She's here. And Dale Bennett will be approved as the assistant director for pupil personnel. So we're very happy to welcome them aboard, and I think they know they're coming to a really wonderful place. Again, a little bit more on the business end. I just wanted to talk a little bit about our enrollments, particularly at the elementary level. As we usually do, we're watching the kindergarten enrollment closely as well as the other sections. The elementary sections are all, fortunately, well within the Board of Ed class size policy limits. The kindergarten is showing to hold pretty steady from where we were. We had thought we may need an additional section at Daly, and Sousa is going down a section purely due to enrollment, but that does not look like that will happen. So instead, I did recommend to the board that we look at a position that we had deferred off the original budget list, and that would be an AIS math position that would be split between Daly and Salem. So we are looking to fill that position instead, and that we are still waiting on our numbers for the bilingual kindergarten. We do not necessarily believe that we will need it. If that position is not required, I have recommended to the board that we hire another esteemed teacher so that we can get closer to fulfilling our goal for those positions. The point I want to make on those positions is that the positions were actually accounted for in the budget. It is simply a change in the type of position, but it is not, there is no budgetary impact to doing this. So I wanted to just make that clear in case anybody hears about some of these different positions. And so finally, I guess I'll use this opportunity to say what I have to say. So first of all, I would like to thank the Board of Ed for recognizing my time in the district by dedicating the administrative annex in my name, and that happened this morning. It's a very special honor and one that I do not take lightly. The annex is a place in the district where a great deal of innovation and creative thinking takes place. It is also a place where some very important decisions are made for children. I was an original occupant of the annex, and I always wanted it to be a warm, welcoming place for our families. So today's dedication meant a great deal, and I thank you very much for that. As I end my tenure in the district, and in some sense bring an over 30-year career in education to a close, I want to take this opportunity to express my deep gratitude to the Board of Ed and the community for allowing me to serve the beautiful children and families of the Port Washington School District in such an important capacity. Leadership positions are challenging, and this one is no exception. However, I have never taken for granted the enormity or seriousness of the responsibilities. I have lost many a night's sleep worrying about individual students or seeking resolutions to complex problems. I was always fortified by strong partnerships with a variety of dedicated Board of Education members, as well as an incredibly talented leadership team and staff. We all work collaboratively to accomplish our goals and advance the high quality of education our students deserve in a fiscally responsible manner. That is the true essence of Port Washington pride. I have also valued my collaborations with community organizations that support the Port Washington schools, including the Ed Foundation, Hearts, and Residents Forward. I've also loved partnering with Parent Council, our HSA PTA co-presidents, Agate, SEPTA, and Viking Sports Foundation to advance the interests and needs of our students. As I conclude my time in the district, I leave with some of the following accomplishments. 7 years of budgets approved by the community within the tax levy limit, a community-approved $69 million bond, and all the projects that resulted from that successful endeavor, upgraded facilities, improved athletic fields, roof replacements, technology infrastructure improvements, and security camera system installations. The recruitment and hiring of highly qualified instructional and non-instructional staff. Instructional advancements in all core academic areas, consistency across grade levels with programs such as Math in Focus, the Writing Process, and Science 21, just to name a few. Outstanding music, art, and theater programs. A strong stand for equity for our student athletes, especially with Section 8 football. Extensive professional development for instructional staff across all disciplines and subject areas. Implementing bullying prevention programs such as Ruler and Olveus, as well as many other important social, emotional, and mental health initiatives well before the new state ed standards. And settled successor agreements with all the major bargaining units and improved labor relations for the district. I am most proud of the work I have done championing for students with disabilities and English language learners and advocating for strong mental health support in schools. With a supportive board of education, the Port Washington schools have developed model student programs that are designed to build resilience, appreciate the importance of gratitude and kindness, and provide students with the academic, social, and emotional tools to make a positive change in the world. I have always been guided by my desire and passion to make educational decisions that are in the best interests of children. To be clear, these are accomplishments I did not achieve on my own. In addition to the members of the Board of Ed, I was graced with an exceptional leadership team, especially at the central office level. My colleagues, Mary, Elaine, and Wafa, remain loyal and faithful through good times and difficult times. The fact that they are all strong women in leadership positions is secondary to their intelligence, talented problem-solving skills, and commitment to the children of the district. I would add that my other partners in crime were Karen and Christine Vasilev, and they were just a vital part of that group as well. I could not have done it without any of them. Finally, I would like to speak to our students. While it may not seem so to you, I am a most unlikely choice for the leader of a school district. I began a humble career as a teacher and never really saw myself beyond the scope of that all-important job. But it was the desire to serve in a greater capacity and the support, and sometimes prodding, of others who believed in me and saw something more in me than I saw in myself that has brought me to this moment today. So to the students, don't ever underestimate what you can achieve based on what you may think of yourself or what some others may tell you. Listen to your heart and surround yourself with supporters. Neither one will fail you. It has been an honor and a privilege to work with all of you. Thank you.
The board also has a plaque for Dr. Mooney, and I have to be honest, I don't know where the paper is about what it says, but I'm sure that it says how amazing she was and how happy we are to be giving this to her this evening. And I think there's now a new standard on whether or not a person is building worthy, and Dr. Mooney met that, and I don't know who will meet it after her, but we have been very lucky to serve under her for all these years. So thank you, Dr. Mooney. In case you were afraid the feel-good moments were over, we have some more. Would the principals like to step up to the microphone and do that first?
Would be great.
Yeah.
So this evening we would we would like to recognize and acknowledge our outgoing HSA PTA presidents and parent council president, and also just for you to hear a little bit about the tremendous work that those organizations do for our schools. Turn it over to the principal.
Hi everybody, my name is Pia Anta, and I'm the principal at South Salem Elementary School. This year, Salem HSA has been busy at work as always. We held a new literacy night, had game nights, carnivals, and brought back 2 old favorite parties. One was a pizza making day, and the other was a party in the playground that just happened today. Unfortunately, Ms. Polokonis was not able to be here tonight because she's in DC, but I will speak on her, about her right now. This year, under the leadership of Ms. Polokonis and Ms. Scott, we have developed a program to financially support teachers in their classrooms with any additional programs they may want, as well as beautifying our schools with detailed stairs and bathrooms that will inspire just about anyone. We are finishing the outdoor classroom, which hopefully will be open for fall of 2019. I have worked with Ms. Polokonis for the past 2 years in her role as the HSA president. One of the more unique qualities she possesses is her no-nonsense approach. She supports the Salem community without enabling them, which includes me as well. Inclusion is always on the forefront of her mind, and she has been so easy to work with as our vision for creating a unified schools in SIN. Being a working woman, she has managed to be co-president and get the job done. She serves as a great role model how there is no excuse and anyone can volunteer their time. She just made partner in her firm after a short 1.5 year employment, and I wish her all the best in this new adventure. I guess timing couldn't have worked out any better. So that was on behalf of Ms. Polokonis. And I'm actually also speaking for Dr. Mioli. So Dr. Mioli regrets that he cannot be here to honor Ms. Munderberg and her many contributions to the Sousa family over the past 2 years. Dr. Mioli also respectfully asks the Weber HSA to refrain from recruiting her for their executive board just yet, as she still has soon-to-be second grader at Sousa. And as she will learn shortly, we have other plans for her next year. Jillian has been the can-do president at Sousa since coming on board in 2017. Become president without having been on the executive board before? Why not? And that set the stage for the next 2 years. Help paint the River Kindness Rocks a second time? Of course. Pick up 30 watermelons for field day? No problem. Cut up 30 watermelons for field day because we had to cancel due to rain? You bet. Cancel 30 watermelons because it rained on makeup field day? Absolutely. We will certainly be the poorer for not having Jill's energy and excitement at Sousa, whether it be deciding on a new playground layout, rebooting a green committee, or successfully leading the charge to save Sousa's 5th grade art project. Although we will miss her very effective HSA leadership and her cheerleading, we do look forward to seeing her again at Sousa next year. Just barely escaping a 3rd term as co-president recently, all of us at Sousa have decided to nominate and elect Ms. Lumberg to serve as the parent member of our Building Safety Committee next year. Congratulations. Dr. Mioli didn't tell you. Thank you, Jill, for all you have done for Sousa as HSA president. We look forward to your continuing gracious, kind, and passionate work on behalf of the school, the district, and the community for many years to come.
Sherry Suzanne, Principal Daly School. I'm also going to be speaking on behalf of my colleague, Dr. Beagle, who had a family emergency. So first about Daly. Where is she? There she is. We played this game at the final HSA meeting last week, but I am more than thrilled to be able to publicly thank Daly's outgoing president, Amy Sorlin. If you look up the term homeschool partnership in the dictionary, or rather on the internet, you will find a picture of Amy Sorlin with a big sign that says, "Go Daly," followed by, "Hey boss, what do you need?" Amy has led a team of devoted parents who exemplify what it means to foster and support a strong homeschool connection. With us, it's been smooth sailing, lots of laughs, and mostly mutual respect and admiration. Amy has been there for all the students and staff at Daly at any time of day. She truly has been any principal's dream. Together, we have continued to grow this strong relationship at Daly that her predecessors have passed down over the years. Amy has always had my back, and for that I am eternally grateful. Amy won't be going far for many years, as Carter is only finishing kindergarten, and is true Sherry's spirit. I've already given her a job for next Thanksgiving, and you're all invited. Stay tuned. Thank you, Amy, for being more than just my very special fairy godmother, but also being my friend. And now on behalf of Barbara Beagle, where's Lauren? Oh, Lauren, there's Lauren. Okay, so I'm pretending I'm Barbara. I have known Lauren Tachana for approximately 10 years. You can tell from the beginning that she was a parent who wanted the best for her daughters as well for the rest of her children in the building. Lauren volunteered for every HSA committee, whether it was fundraising or became a member of the HSA Executive Board. Her drive and determination to help every child in the building was evident to all of us. As a mother of 3 girls, Lauren was always busy with one of them or another. I believe people thought when Peyton came along, Lauren would slow down. That was not the case. She continued her involvement in Guggenheim's HSA with baby Peyton in tow. Over the past 2 years, Lauren was co-president of Guggenheim's HSA. She worked closely with both of our partners, Annie and Nicoletta, to bring enrichment to the Guggenheim community. 3 of the most recent things she assisted with were the plant sale, park diversity night, and the booster-thon. The proceeds from the booster-thon allowed the HSA to purchase 2 Chromebook carts for the building. Lauren's efforts were very much appreciated not only by the students but to the teachers as well. It's going to be difficult to say goodbye to Lauren. Her legacy and advocacy for the children and the HSA will live on for a very, very long time. Everyone leaves behind footprints in the sands of time, but Lauren's footprints will be engraved in stone for future Googies to follow. I cannot thank her enough for everything she's done. Thank you.
It has been a pleasure working with Sarah Raver this year and last year in her role as PTA co-president. She is thorough, thoughtful, and accessible. And when I say accessible, I truly mean that. I learned early on that no matter what time, day, night, I contact Sarah, she's there with her response. I try very hard to break that habit. Today's PTA end-of-the-year luncheon for Manor Haven School was a tribute to how much Sarah was appreciated in her role these past 2 years. I said a few words on her behalf and started with, "There's something about Sarah." These words were echoed throughout the room with heartfelt sentiments by all. As principal of Manor Haven School, I have so much to thank the PTA for. Their fundraising efforts this year led to many wonderful additions to the school. Our biggest accomplishment was the PTA fundraising drive for the new playground. This playground was funded by our generous parents with a contribution from the Board of Education, and we are all looking forward to watching the children enjoy the new equipment very, very soon. We started the year with a fabulous fall festival that poured out our entire school community and continued with our 29th Manor Haven Cultural Studies Week. This year we celebrated the history and culture of Kenya. In addition, the PTA fully or partially funded our yoga club and STEM club and paid for the buses for our kindergarten and 5th grade buddy trip to see the Nutcracker. They brought in speakers for our parents and funded assembly programs and trips for our students. This year they also funded books for the classrooms on tolerance, diversity, and anti-bullying. I can't thank our PTA and Executive Board enough for their dedication to the school. Tonight I say goodbye to Sarah as co-president, and I look forward to seeing her continued in the other roles that she holds in the school and taking on new important roles. Thank you, Sarah.
I would like to thank our exiting HSA president, Ms. Adrienne Kane, for being our HSA president the past 2 years. She's always been so supportive of me, the Weber students and staff, and we will miss her volunteerism and her leadership. She has such a great balanced perspective, and she's been an asset to the Weber community as a whole. Thank you for all your time and energy.
Good evening, I'm my returning principal at Schreiber High School. I'm here to talk about outgoing HSA co-president Lauren Edwards, who also happens to be my friend. I'm grateful for that. I'm also purposely not going to look at her, although I can feel her eyes in the back of my head. There's just a long history of wonderful partnership between the HSA and, well, for me, I've been very fortunate. I say this every year. Laura Johnson, Lee Davis, Meredith Steigman, all co-presidents since I arrived at Schreiber. At a time when so many parents think that it's not necessary to be involved in their child's education at the high school level, and it's more important than ever. And Lauren's carried that forward. She has helped resolve many conflicts. She has been a consistent advocate for families and for students. She's always prepared to tell me, text me, or call me with the truth. She also likes my Facebook posts and is open-minded about iced coffee. So, Lauren, thank you so much for all that you have done. I am truly grateful, and I know that you're still going to be involved in Stratford High School activities. And for that, I'm grateful. Thank you.
Yes. Hi, Stephanie Allen, the Executive Director for PPS. I'm here tonight actually to thank both of my co-presidents. They really were wonderful to me. This was the first year that I had. It's going to be wonderful to continue working with Mrs. Scott next year. I'm so excited about that. I do have to thank Mrs. Sifridis for everything she did this year for me, helping me in the transition and really just bringing enthusiasm to after this year as we try to increase our visibility. So it's really, really been a pleasure. I wish you all the best in your next venture. Thank you.
So I just wanted to take a moment to thank our outgoing Agate co-president, Lee Richards. I don't know if Lee is here tonight. She's not here tonight. But just to acknowledge the work that she has done and that Agate does to support all of our students and enrichment. I know that both our Director of Guidance and Dr. Westervelt are very grateful and appreciative as well. I've worked with Lee in a number of capacities, even her Hearts capacity, so we're really just very, very grateful for all the work that Agate and Lee has done for us. I also just want to thank Meredith Steigman as Parent Council Co-President. We really have known each other for a very long time, and I really enjoyed watching your children grow up through the school district. And I think my relationship and partnership with all of our parent leaders is something that I'm going to miss tremendously, and you play such a critical role in the work that we do, and your support makes a difference. You can't even imagine what that support means to us and how it changes the lives of our students. So I want to thank all of you for what you do, and I guess we have certificates for our outgoing. And
I don't know if any of you noticed in the paper this year, but I'm a PTA mom, and I'm really proud of that. So I'd just like to say the best thing about being presidents that I say every year is that you don't go away, you just come back in a different school. And if you're really lucky, you can come up here and be like one of us, because that's how it goes. And we're so grateful to all of you. It's been such a pleasure to work with all of you. Thank you. And we do have certificates, and now I have it down. They're all really well organized, so come on down when we read your names so that we can give you our certificate. Meredith Steigman, Lauren Edwards, Adrian Kane, Amy Schnorlin, Lauren DeJana, Sarah Raber, Jillian Lundberg, Ralia Polakronis, Lee Richards, Eleni is not here, and Jennifer Scotto Robinson, who's staying. Meredith. They're not in order. Oh, they're in order. I'll see you. I'll see you in a minute. I'll see you. I'll see you in a minute. Okay. Amy. Oh gosh, I was so organized. Here you go. Thank you. Sarah. Thank you. Thank you so much for everything. I'll see you Thursday. Thank you. Good luck. Where are you? I'm sorry. I'm like staring right at it. Thank you, Lauren. Yes. Wait. Don't forget your certificate. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought that we have a thing that says you're not. I wish you were here. Thank you for everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
I said her.
Here you go.
Adrian Kane, did you not hear your name? Thank you. We called your name. That's right. Do we have to talk about committees tonight? Can we skip committees?
I hope so.
Thank you. I love that. Thank you. Thank you.
On being
Thank
a
you.
citizen.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'd just like to take a sense of the board on who feels that we can ask the community to read about the committees online. Okay. Do I have, okay. Okay, good. Okay. Committees can be read about online. We're not talking about them. I'm going to go to the action items and make a motion for A1 through D27. Do I have a second? Mr. Kirpin. All in favor? 7-0, thank you. While I'm thumbing through, I forgot to mention earlier, I would like to very sincerely, genuinely, and from the bottom of my heart, welcome Deborah Brooks to the board. I will not be here when you join us, but I'll be watching. Board policy, we are approving policy 1221 for the first reading, relations with community and parent organizations. You can also read about that online. Calendar, we're approving the proposed Board of Ed calendar for meeting dates for next year. I'll make a motion for that. Do I have a second? Who do I get to pay? Mrs. Johnson, all in favor? 7-0, thank you. Any old business? New business? Oh, Larry, new business.
I want to make this your longest meeting. I'm going to just take some prerogative as being the person who served with Karen her entire term on the board. And Dr. Mooney, I was on the parent committee that hired Dr. Mooney at her PPS thing. We were really struggling. There were no good candidates. And Ann Israel came in and said, "We found somebody." And we met Dr. Mooney, and she won us over, and I don't regret that vote one bit. And I'm glad to be working her all these years. And just a quick thing about Karen. Karen was my vice president, and she learned everything not to do from me. And it's been great working on her. She has talked me off a ledge more times than I care to remember, and I thank you very much for it, and look forward to still seeing you around. So that was quick, okay?